That was Gaming. They're currently 3-0. They just had a win, I believe, which is very good, versus Bittersweet Gaming, which is a very, very good match to win. But Pogchimp, they have just lost out to the Royal Reapers. So that is a big loss to take, especially when, if you look at the score sheet, they were only able to muster 7 kills in that game, whilst dying 20 times, and they were locked out from what it looks like.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't, how do you call it, the nicest of defeats for Pogchimp in the game that went and streamed. However, Black Rose Gaming, these guys have won a game and they are currently on a roll. They actually won against Royal Reapers last week, which you can read about in the newsletter that has actually just, been announced in the Discord, so definitely have a read about that. But coming back into the match, if Black Rose Gaming can win now against Pogchimp and finish the second week 2-0, that is one of the best starts you can hope for.
It really is, and I mean, Black Rose Gaming, last team they played, which they won, they were busting out things like the Karma mid came out, the Lux came in against the Rakan. But I tell you what, the big performer there was certainly their bot laner. 15-3-9 on Xayah is a huge performance from Rude Dude, I believe. And I mean, if he's going to be able to match that again, it's going to be such a difficult task.
It definitely will be. However, let's talk about the matchup. Players. Who are we going to pay attention to? Because last time it was, of course, the AD carries, mid lanes, whatever. Who are we looking at now and why?
For me, it has to be the bot lane. I mean, you have Black Rose Gaming, who are rocking, I believe it's a Muck Freeze and Heats XD. They are both master players, and they have a very, very big pools of AD carries and supports. In particular, McFreeze had a very impressive performance week 1 on Kai'Sa, and like we just talked about, on that Xayah, he's in an absolute storm too. So if we're looking at the people to watch, it has to be that AD carry, McFreeze. Keep your eyes on him this game, because he could pop off.
And he actually did in the match last week when he played the Kai'Sa. Of course, he can play more than that, but that's one of the champions that I'll be looking. If it will be targeted in picks and bans in any way whatsoever, or picked up, or given any priority, we are waiting for one person. I think so. We should be getting in about a few minutes.
Yeah, we should be. And another thing to talk about, Yuumi is actually a shared champion of both these supports. So not only are we talking about, Kai'Sa and Xayah as like pop-off champions for these people, but also you got to kind of take into account the fact that Yuumi, I imagine, is going to be a contested pick or banned away during this champ select. And if it's able to get into one of these supports' hands, what AD carry are they going to pair up with? And they could go for something like the Kai'Sa Yuumi, which was one of the original combos. But we've seen stuff like Sivir Yuumi, Ezreal Yuumi kind of pop out that are just absolutely disgusting to play against. So we'll see what each team wants to choose. As Vartej, he has arrived. He is here. So we should be getting into the game very, very shortly.
Yeah, Vartej has arrived, playing the jungle for Black Rose Gaming, and we're just waiting for the teams to get in order. But you mentioned what you can pair it up with Yuumi. I remember I have seen so much Sivir Yuumi being played ever since that champion got released that I did grow to detest it. I'm not even going to play with words. It is absolutely disgusting how much safety it provides. And then once you hit late game, guess what? It doesn't get any better. You will be able to... So remember what Vayne did last game. Imagine doing that to 5 people simultaneously.
That sounds quite powerful, sir.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I want to look at is that like that kind of power from a Yuumi. I mean, I have the bad experience of Kai'Sa Yuumi, was something I dealt with a lot, and it's talked about Kai'Sa being one of the contested picks. But what makes Yuumi so powerful with something like an Ezreal or a Sivir is the added safety. Not only does a Sivir have a spell shield and very good wave clear, or does an Ezreal have the arcane shift, but you add onto that a bunch of healing alongside all the combat spells that Yuumi takes instead of Flash. It just becomes so hard to deal with these people because they are impenetrable just as champions. It's so difficult to kill them.
And we are going into the picks and bans, I believe, from what I've seen in the chat. Black Rose Gaming will be missing the first ban due to one of their players showing up late, so this is why you see nothing being banned right here. But apart from it, we should be going for your regular draft phase, seeing what do Pogchimp want to ban out first.
So yeah, there we go. You're a happy bunny, Kazuki. You don't have to deal with Yuumi this time.
Yes, although casting Mordekaiser is actually just more confusing. So, guys, if you could ban it, I'd appreciate it.
And also to note, Jungler No Ganks has been playing Mordekaiser recently, so we could see him possibly pick up that one for himself if he so chooses. However, I haven't seen Mordekaiser be too successful of a pick lately, so let's see what they choose. But Mordekaiser also gets Casca. Are you controlling these bans?
Yes, I am. Next ban coming through will be I can't do this. Wait, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to predict. It's going to be Sivir. I don't know.
See, my money's on Kaiser from
or maybe not even an
unfortunate.
AD carry at all.
Well, we were expecting it to be an AD carry because of the power that McFreeze has as a player. But Vladimir Nireli, a big flex pick being took away from Pogchimp, so they will not be able to have their hands on that for themselves.
Yeah, last ban now from Pogchimp. We'll see. It is the Aatrox. Alright, so AD carry is not even touched in that first phase of bans. First pick available for BRG. We'll see. Do they want to run anything back from last week? Lux is a just pretty strong all-round champion, and it is their first pick.
Yeah, they did run the Lux in their win earlier today. They went 2-5-18 on support Lux. We'll see if it goes support this game or if they maybe move it around to the mid lane, but I'm imagining it will go into the support position. Question is, what do you pick into a Lux? Because those mages can be a real tough problem to deal with. And usually you go for an enchanter that can heal up and keep ready carry safe from a lot of this poke and Sona.
Tarek.
Well, I was about to talk about Sona versus support, and I forgot the Sona Tarek existed. Yeah, you're not going to be able to poke down Sona Tarek, and that's just going to happen. The way you beat Sona Tarek is usually through an all-in bot lane that's able to delete them before they can have the chance to bringing their environmentalities and sustain. But
yeah, I do like the pick, Nunu Varte. I think it is one of his most played in his solo queue. He has something ridiculous like over 200, if not 300 games even. I'm actually just going to pull that one up so that I'm not lying to you all. Also Caitlyn, I believe, is it the lock-in? Yeah, so you got the Lux, probably in support, Caitlyn as well. So Black Rose Gaming potentially going for a high poke damage bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the range that both Caitlyn and Lux have, it's absolutely disgusting. You're going to get hit by near screens away, and that does not sound fun. Then again, Sona Tarek, I think, has a great matchup into that. But we'll see what they pick alongside the Sona Tarek, because the Zac will be what they pick up in the jungle.
Isn't it one of those picks that Pioneers is known for? Or am I confusing him with someone?
It very much is. I was kind of expecting it to be took away in the first rotation, but it is easily his most played champion, so we'll see what he can make happen. I imagine he won't be ganking bot lane often. So they should be able to pick priority several laners right now and be able to live with the comfort that Pioneers is going to visit their lanes and going to get them ahead.
Yeah, and we're gonna see what soul lanes are that. I just confirmed by looking at the profile, Varte has a 63% win rate on Nunu out of 200 games.
That's
in solo queue.
That ain't too bad, I'll be perfectly honest. That's pretty good win rates going. We do see both jugglers on their signature pick, so we'll see who's the stronger, if you will. Is Zia going to be taken away from Leonardo? Two of his three big champions that he has over like a 60% win rate in solo queue. The other one is Silas, but Silas had a lot of changes recently in the patch. They nerfed his wave clear a lot, but helped his more one-on-one dueling. So we'll see if they let the Silas through, and we'll see if Leonardo wants to opt for it as the Yasuo will be took away.
Yeah, so the Silas is still open if you want to go for that, either of those teams. Cassiopeia actually, Swain, alright, they're just hovering. I should probably refrain myself
Rule
from commenting
one of casting. Never talk about the hovers, my friend.
Yeah, you see, I fall for that one all the time.
See, I'll admit, sometimes I do when I see something exciting. And I am a prophet.
Yes, you are.
Silas has arrived. And yeah, that talks about the changes came through. He has less AoE wave clear of the wave. However, his passive now has 2 charges, and he's able to heal a lot more from that W, which you remember, he was able to charge him with your low health, heals a bunch up, and it's like, oh, well, I thought I was running that. So we'll see how Leonardo's able to pirate the champion, as Poppy will be the blind pick top lane, which isn't typically a blind pick top lane in the UC, because she's usually picked into very specific matchups, such as the Irelia or the Camille. So I'm surprised they've opted for that. But now I want to see what they can pick into Silas, because I think you're imagining a Silas mid here.
Mm-hmm.
And what ultimate are they scared of him stealing, and what are they not? And Cassidy. Oh, Anivia.
Okay.
Okay, I'm an Anivia expert. I'm a very big Anivia player.
All right, then how about you get us talking, or do you want to wait for the last pick to come through in case
But
it's
we
something?
can talk about the whole comp of Black Rose
All
right
right.
now.
So
So what we see from them is a lot of range and a lot of disengage, and those two things usually pair very well. What they're going to be able to do is around the 25-30 minute mark, when they're able to start rolling, their siege is going to be absolutely bonkers. Caitlyn is going to be able to hit those towers from super far away, and Nivea's going to be able to really, really hard push and hold whatever lane they need to. And having a Poppy around bouncing off everyone is going to be super good, alongside the Lux, which if you are trying to sit on the tower and protect what little health that tower is going to have, that Lux can poke you down super hard and could lead to very easy kills. So overall, Black Rose, their siege potential is absolutely huge. However, you look at the team fight scenario, and just imagine a mid-game skirmish with a Sona, Tarek, Silas, Zac, and Jace, and that's pretty horrid.
It is. However, that's why I really like the Poppy. It is a very great pick into the Zac for we all know what the reason. If BRG ever group up and they wanna and they see Pogchimp engaging onto them, Jungler no ganks presses his steadfast presence, and suddenly Pioneers cannot go in. And this is where it will be all about the execution. I feel like, because you talk about the mid lane, the mid game fights. However, Sona Tarek could potentially be shut down if we see some jungle pressure. Same technically goes for top lane, though you would be expecting Jace to win into the Poppy.
Yeah, that's the issue with the Poppy pick. Was I think I like it overall in the competition. It's the blind pick that scares me. Into a Jace, that Poppy will struggle early on. Without jungle assistance, she's just gonna get autoed down by this Jace and zoned off the wave. And that's gonna be a real problem, because if this Poppy is put super far behind by the Jace, or alternatively the Jace starts to snowball, the mid game becomes a lot scarier because you're not gonna have that big tanky front line that you're expecting to have with the likes of a Poppy.
Alright, now correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm looking at the side of, at both of the compositions, Black Rose Gaming, theirs is all about grouping up, sieging, and not falling behind in lines, and then making the plays in the mid game. Whereas on Pogchimp, you want to use Pioneers to get the ganks in and get at the very least one lane to be fed, so that then your mid game can be monstrous.
You mix up the teams, but you are absolutely correct. It is on. Wait, no, no, you didn't. No, I'm inting. Never mind. I mixed up the teams as well. Sorry, I'm a little bit flustered right now. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the disengage versus engage classic, and it's always a fun one to watch the styles interact on screen. But we have a chance to go into some specific matchups, and I want to look at this mid lane as a, obviously as an Nivea main.
All right, go for it. Unlock yourself.
I like this for Anivia very, very much. Now, there's two things that you get out of this matchup. Is that one, what side is going to steal from you? An ult, that's going to give him like one wave clear, and that's it. Whereas with Anivia, she can constantly spam that ultimate, keep that Silas locked under his tower, and make sure he can't go anywhere. The other thing is that if Silas does get an all-in, Anivia has so many ways to disengage. She has the instant Q she can put in front of her as the stun. She has an ult which can sow, a W which can wall off the Silas himself. So there's so many tools for Lizard to get out of these fights that I think it's going to be a real challenge for Leonardo to try and take advantage of this matchup and get himself a lead.
However, what if we throw Pioneers into the mix? Let's say he really wants to camp the mid lane. And if once you do burn the flash and you do burn the passive, with repeat ganks, it's a very easy target. Is that something that Pogchimp could go for to try and mitigate that threat that you're talking about of the mid-game Anivia not being completely even or even ahead?
Yeah, I mean, it could be something they go for, but like you said, they have to get through a flash and a passive before they can even kill the Anivia in the first place in the early game, and that's the power of the pick. If Pioneers wants to get Leonardo ahead, he's going to have to invest a good 2-3 ganks in order to make it worth his while. And if he's doing that, then he's going to be leaving his Jace on his own, which might mean he might not get the best out of his matchup. And he's going to be letting his Sona Tarek get abused by Caitlyn Lux for the first few minutes of the game. So sure, he could go and camp mid, and I think that could be a good option, but he has to be aware of how his side lanes are doing and if he does need help.
Alright, as we will be slowly loading into the game, guys. If you haven't, then vote in our poll. So far, most of you, or actually 4 out of 6, have favored Black Rose Gaming. to be the winner of this game. Of course, they are ahead in the standings, and what we talked about maybe more in the first game could also be an important factor in this time. Week 2 is where you start seeing the top teams separate from the bottom, and if you finish it 4-0, then you are definitely in those top tiers of the league.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Black Rose, I think they've already made a good few statement wins. They're showing themselves as a top tier team, and they could be joining, I believe, it is CBA is the only other 4-0 team if they're able to go 2-0 in this week. And this is the only challenge left for them. It is against Pogchimp, but it's not going to be without challenge because, like we talked about, that this mid game from the Pogchimp composition is going to be huge. The amount of skirmishes and picks they're going to be able to make, it's going to be scary. It's just on. The pressure is certainly on Black Rose. Is can you correctly position, keep the range up, make sure you're disengaging correctly? Because if they can do all those things perfectly, then theoretically there shouldn't be any that outside the Pogchimp can do. But if they start stepping a little bit over where they should be, then that's when they could be punished. And if they do get punished, it's going to be big.
Black Rose Gaming, they tried to go in for the invade, they got spotted out, and this actually does allow Pioneers and Lego to walk into the topside jungle, place some wards, or maybe even stick around and look for picks.
Yeah, they could, but I don't think it'd be the best idea.
Yeah, it's probably unlikely. Level 1 Zac, level 1 Jace. Not a lot of damage CC that they offer. Okay, maybe CC is decent, but not a lot of damage.
Here now, minions are spawned on the Rift. So let's have a look at the matchups again. So Rooted, Muppet, I think they're going to be perfectly fine in the spot lane. One thing to note though is the summoner spells. We have McFreeze and Heat. So never mind. I think that's...
Yeah, some level 1 shenanigans coming through with that bot lane Muppet. He did throw down the Dazzle. He gets a few auto attacks in onto Heats. But otherwise, the bot lanes will just go back. So coming back to the summoners.
Yeah, so we have the cleanse and the heal being taken by Muppet and Rooted, but a teleport and an ignite by McFreeze and Heats. And that shows how aggressive they want to be. Is that they usually if your ADC takes teleport, you're going to be taking a heal. But the fact that he's said, okay, we're taking the ignite shows that not only do they want to have a constant lane presence with the teleport, but they also want to have a constant kill presence with the ignite, and it makes it a little bit harder for Muppet and Rudy to try and survive this lane. Because you see how much damage they're taking already, just from the sheer amount of range and poke that Caitlyn looks to have.
Yeah, just the level 1, the Lucent Singularity and Pillar Peacemaker, as well as just the Caitlyn attack ranges, enough to make sure that Rudy and Muppet need to be under the Taras. Now in the top lane, a bit of a 1v1 breaking out as Lego. He is stuck behind the minion wave. Jungler no ganks, he's also dropping all HP. He might get a Sulk, and it's a first blood picked up by the top laner of BRG.
That is so big. That is exactly not like what I was not expecting. We talked about how I thought that it was heavily favored in Jace. Does that matchup, and to lose out then is such a... That should not be happening. Well played Jungler no ganks for doing that, and we talked about how it could have been a winning matchup. Now, I'm not too worried, to be honest.
Definitely not. And we'll see what can he recall it as Vardy looking for an invade onto Pioneers. However, that is a level 3 against a level 2. That then could be in a lot of trouble. Wood Dude as well, making his way up. But the bot lane of BRG has got their junglers back first, and Varte, he's in no imminent danger.
Yeah, he isn't. He's able to chomp that with a whiff down and get out. It's very nice. What I do want to say, another thing, that mid lane matchup, look at the CS differential just alone right now. That is mad in favor of Lizard and the Anivia, and this is like before level 6, before Anivia really wants to come online and starts pushing in Silas. But you see Pioneers possibly attempting his first gank of the game, but he's going to choose not to.
Yeah, he's just sticking around Lizard. He's pushing up in the lane, so technically you should be able to gank that Anivia. However, now in the bot lane, that is the Dazzle in onto Heats, no mana. He still has got the flash, but he should be fine with that prismatic barrier. Now Lizard in the mid lane, Leonardo is going to flash away. Varte doesn't quite find the snowball, and still no more kills coming through.
Yeah, this is the first gank I've seen from any jungler this game, I believe. However, Pioneers, he might be standing up for something, but he knows that this Lux has no mana of it. Looks like BRG are... Oh, they're not aware.
Yeah, Pioneers, he's jumping forward, however, he's going to get rooted up with the light binding. The Ignite is down, and he gets pops down into the Cell Division Muppet. Knocked up with that biggest snowball ever, and Varte will be able to get the kill. That's the second one, picked up by McFreeze. And this is Black Rose Gaming with 2 kills more at 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, and there's the weakness of Soda They don't have an insane amount of that damage, but consistent damage that you're usually expecting. You see, over the course of that fight, Caden and the Lux are still able to fry out their autos, do a hell of a lot of damage, and you see Soda just gonna have to sit there and watch their jungler die because they just can't do much about it, unfortunately. And it means that the initial few plays are gonna go in favor of Black Rose and will help them on their path to the mid late game.
Yeah, 1,500 gold in the lead. A BF sword picked up by McFreeze. And we just briefly mentioned the top lane. Jungle No Ganks picked up the Bami. Cinder is going to do a lot when it comes to helping him in the 1v1 trades.
Yeah, well, indeed. That Bami is going to be huge. Oh!
Good flash away from Lizard to get away from that elastic slingshot. However, now Pioneers, he's got the mid lane open for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, he does, and well, we say it's open for the next 5 minutes. Soon, and if it will be hitting level 6, and we'll be starting to shove in at Silas. However, like you said, it is very possible that Pioneer just comes for another gank, and that's where things might start to hurt the Anivia a little bit. Because you are going to need to try and maintain a push when you're kind of stuck with not a lot of vision hanging around your river. And if you are stuck in that situation, you just can't be that far up, and it means the Anivia is not going to be able to take the full advantage of the matchup going forward. However, this TS differential speaks for itself. Anivia's been doing well so far.
And you also have got that Tear of the Goddess, so Lizard will not be too concerned with the mana issues, at least for a while. As the bot lane is doing bot lane things, that is a root down onto Muppet. The damage is just stacking. Imagine that was a level 6 Caitlyn.
Well, he'd be dead. That's the imagine.
Yeah, that's the point.
No. These matchups are going very well in favor of Black Rose. All 3 of their lanes are going their way, and that's not what you really want. Because if you're at least in the seat of the Pogchimps, because as I talked about earlier, their competition is based around mid-game skirmishes. If you're not ahead by the mid-game, those mid-game skirmishes aren't going to go well for yourself, even if your competition is kind of designed for it.
Now they're binding onto Voodoo. He walks into the trap. One more attack would have done it. And yeah, you gotta do something, because bowling will be bleeding out. That is what we kind of expected to happen with that Caitlyn Lux bowling. Pioneers, he did the one gank in the mid lane. Do more. Go there again. Lizard doesn't still have the flash for like 3 more minutes.
And Lucius is maintaining farm. Not only is he not been able to make a lot of ganks happen, but you look at this CS and he's behind Nunu, and not only like participation in like ganks, but also the fact that he's struggling on the farm speed, and that's kind of one of the struggles of Zac. He can't clear as fast as, say, a Nunu, and it means that Nunu's able to get to a lot of these ganks faster, despite the fact that Zac has a lot more creative pathing around.
Yeah,
Players gonna bot.
Yeah, it definitely is. Both junglers are here. Leonardo also making his way down from the mid lane. This could be the big fight that Pogchimp needed. Stunned down onto McFreeze. Have a flash away already from Pioneer's Pineapple. That's flash forward. The absolute zero is being channeled by Varte. Jungler no ganks. Picks up a kill in the top lane in the meantime. And Woodute will drop in ball lane. Leonardo is now getting chain CC'd. The Piltover Peacemaker and Varte picks up another kill. That's now 6-0 in favor of Black Rose Gaming. And they get the ball lane turret. And another binding. They are not done yet. Pioneers, he jumps in with the last extinction. He gets one back. Now let's bounce. McFeast is out of mana. Flashes away. And there will be no follow-up. Varte on a killing spree. And this is the kind of early game you want to see from Black Rose Gaming.
It is, certainly. And it's so big for them that not only do they get all these kills bot lane, but they also got the first tower gold. Look at the gold difference. I mean...
Alright. Varte, dude. Chill. You really don't need to go for it. Alright, Muppet is going to actually die. It is a rampage, and yeah, you said it is working. Lizard over the wall with the blast cone. Does he have the flash? That's a great crystallize and a heroic charge into the wall. That's the 9th kill at 9 minutes. Are we watching G2 or what?
Well, I don't think it's G2. Because I don't think I'd ever see Caps on Anivia. It isn't really his champion.
Yeah,
but
good point.
then again, they are playing a very G2-esque style, and it's working really, really well for them. They're getting the Dragon. It just accelerated completely. The goal difference is 5k at 9 minutes. That is unheard of. That is so huge. A gold lead, and for Black Rose, they're very happy because, like we talked about, that competition doesn't really like. It's happy to chill into the late game, but it's already got this lead, and so there's absolutely no pressure on them to make plays as a team. Now, here's the thing, though. If we're expecting a G2 style, that isn't going to be the style I'm expecting sitting back. They're going to be going for more towers, more plays, get more gold, and that's what you want to do in this meta right now. You want to be able to secure as many platings, as much gold as possible, and accelerate yourself once you have the chance.
That's a Magi picked up by Varte. That's a tank Nunu jungle, with the Magi Soul Stealer at 10 minutes. I think if you want to have a visual representation of how far ahead BRG is, this is the best you're going to get.
Yeah. It's a pretty bold move, but at the same time, he is 4-on-3 right now. If they're expecting to start stomping, then it makes sense to buy the item, as here comes Vate.
Gets the snowball in onto Muppet. The Dazzle will be sidestepped away from, and that is the route with the snowball barrage. The Cosmic Radiance coming down through Pine's Pineapple, finds the engage. The vulnerability could be big for Pogchimp, and here's the engage. Lego picking up already. Here's Varte. Is going to drop in the back line. However, McFeast is still alive. He's going to get on back. He dodges away from the Crescendo. Lizard joins the fray from the bottom side of that river. He throws down the Glacial Stone. Leonardo has hijacked the ultimate. Pioneers goes in, and the blast come from Lizard to get out. It is going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of Pogchimp.
It is. That's what you want to see from Pogchimp. Let me talk about that. That skirmishing is very, very strong. You see the power of the Cosmic Radiance in that fight, allowing the business to survive for so long in the fight. However, what's happening, Jungle is just sitting bot, and he's going to be getting himself a tier 2 turret in the bot lane, and that's going to be a huge problem for the side of Pogchimp, because now they're going to have someone answering that kind of huge push, which is going to drag someone away from the fights that they want to make.
And this wave is also, I mean, the lane is so long that sending up the slow push will be probably what we'll see from Black Rose Gaming to go for those plays in the top side. As you said, drag someone down. The Herald is still up for taking. Hell, even most of the plays are up, as Hits is optimistic. At least he tried to go for the play.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's worth making, that we talked about. It's being proactive, trying to force things, but look at this. Pioneers is hanging around, so the Tarek's there, but he was spotted out on a ward, so they won't be falling for that trap anytime soon.
Oh, okay. Leonardo, he's trying to make something happen in the mid lane. Instead, it's a flash post into his face. And this is going to be a 1 versus 2. Good flash away. He has hijacked the absolute 0 and is going to hold on to that cooldown as, yeah, that's going to be end of this trade in the mid lane. No one falls, and Pogchimp cannot find anything.
Yeah, he can't, and this is a tough one for Pogchimp because they're so far behind that making plays has become a little bit of a difficult task. However, they have made up about 1k gold, so they are positive in the last few minutes in making plays. That's a positive there. We do see something possibly happening around this Rift Herald. Could be contested, but I doubt it will be.
Yeah, Pioneers doesn't even jump in. He knows that if he commits, he will probably die, and not sure if that is exactly worth it. Leonardo, yet again, another attempt to go onto Lizard, who has got that respawn. The egg is finally forced. However, here comes Varte with this snowball. Leonardo, he doesn't have the flash. He's got the absolute 0 hijack, but doesn't use it. Varte with yet another kill, and the Herald as well is going to be summoned by Black Rose Gaming.
Yeah, and here starts the sieging potential. We already saw it down in the bot lane, but the range on Caitlyn alongside being able to push through with Rift Herald means that the mid tier 1's going to go down, and this mid tier 2 is probably going to go down too. I'd put my money on it.
The Herald is going to charge. I like Glacial Stone is doing so much. Pioneer's Pineapple, he's going into the backline, but the final spark pops him down into the cells. Crescendo was already thrown, and here is the Cosmic Radiance. Muppet trying to win, but McFreeze is already on a rampage. The Keeper's Red is charged up and is going to send Leonardo packing back to the base. Muppet stuck jungle, no ganks, he's on a rampage, and that's one of the cleanest snowballs this split so far.
Yep, and my goodness, we're at 7k gold lead at 13 minutes, and it's only going to get bigger. There's the snowball, and it's huge. That much it is carrying himself.
Well, Wooded is still going to die. Okay, well, the absolute 0 is going to finish him off. The mid lane inhib tower dies before plates are falling off.
friendly reminder that that's a Nunu with a Medjay, and he has 14 stacks on it right now. So not only is he going to be a tanky threat, but he's also going to be dealing a heck of a lot of damage.
Yeah, it definitely is. Infinity Edge is well now completed for McFreeze. He's working towards this second item. I'm not really sure is it going to be the Infinity Edge that you see. I'm not really that hot on my build paths for AD carry items, but on the other side, Dude, he is still working towards his first item. This is looking very tough, and I'm just gonna ask you this question, and I am really sorry for that.
It's okay, what is it?
How did Pogchimp come back if at all?
Okay, so they have this on the Tarek. That's how they wait. So here we go. They have a very good way of extending fights. If they're able to execute very well, what they should be able to do is get Pineapple Pineapple onto the backline alongside Leonardo and Lego and make sure they're able to survive super long with abilities such as the Cosmic Radiance and also the Healing Persona. If you're able to keep them stuck on the backline, kill people like McFreeze T and Lizard, then you'll be able to do really well. The issue is, now that they're so far ahead, the amount of disengage of Black Rose, it becomes a very, very hard fight to execute. I don't think I want to talk about, in reference to the items, but Freeze is actually going, I believe, for a Essence Reaver, which is a very, very good item to take. It's something that I believe TSM's fan took it a few weeks ago, because it's very good to squishy champions. You're able to regain all of this mana and keep firing off the abilities, because you know that you're able to poke down the enemy team with ease, and you're not really at too much threat in terms of a tank looking at you.
Alright, here goes Vartic. The engage down onto Dude. Ace in the hole will be blocked by Muppet, and Vartic, he's just getting out of here. Pineapple now looking for the engage. He doesn't have that self-division, so he needs to be careful. Aftershock already being popped. Good sidestep away from the light binding. It was so close, but not close enough. Instead, it is Black Rose Gaming looking to take their 6th tower of the game, and they will do so in the top lane. Dude, he needs to be careful. Loses half of his health. They dazzle down onto Vartic. And you can see Black Rose Gaming, they are trying to push in and Pogchimp. They are looking for any opportunity they can to strike back. As Muppet, he loses half HP again. This time, Pineapple connects onto the back line. The final spike hijack for Ronaldo doesn't do a whole lot. The teleport is going to challenge. Here comes Lego. He already deletes hits. That's 1 kill over to Pogchimp. But Varte in the back line on the Nunu is still doing work as well. That's a double shutdown though. Lego, he's popping off with a triple kill. How did I even miss that? This is a huge fight for Pogchimp. However, can't they get anything out of it? Piney still looking for jungler, no gank. Summer Shock will come in for the slow end. I think that Poppy is out of here.
And well, there we talk about it. Get a Jace or a Silas onto the backline and contested. You know what they did? They did exactly that, and it worked. You saw McFreeze, Lizard, Vate all go down to that fight, and that's so good. And it's the light that you see for Pogchimp. That is exactly what they need to do and how they need to execute fights. The issue is trying to do that consistently, because you had to burn both Lego's flash and his teleport just to get him onto the backline. You're not going to be able to do that again for another 5-6 minutes. So execute again, it's going to be hard.
It is, however, as we said it, there is the light in the tunnel. We finally saw a glimpse of it. And, you know, good thing with falling behind this much this early, the barn isn't up yet for at least 2.5 more minutes. So you have some time to farm up the items. And talking about farming up, Lego has the most CS and he's already on 2.5 items.
Yeah, and he's been doing well for himself. I mean, we talked about how Jungler was doing a great job at the start of that matchup of staying even, but after that triple kill, Lego was actually quite far ahead. He's about has a 1.5k gold lead, I believe, between those two. So that's very good from him. The issue is the rest of his team is still very far behind, and so he's going to be very much the main source of damage for super long. And that's one of the issues with the composition that Pogchimp have got. They don't have much damage without the Jace or the Stylist being there. In fact, they kind of had none.
Yeah, now you can see Pogchimp, they're trying to contest for the wards, trying to get some sort of vision, to get an idea for what is going on in their jungle, but Bittersweet Gaming, they are controlling it so damn well, and if they are going to be one of the teams contesting for the top spots, then this is the kind of gameplay you want to see from them.
Yeah, it is, and Black Rose, if they get this game, it's quickly take a frame. If they do end up getting this game, which is what we're expecting, unless there are some very fun fights.
Hold on, I'm trolling, it's Black Rose.
yeah, And
similar team names, sorry.
See, that happened. I think it's because Pineys has the club tag BSG. That's what threw me off when I said you mixed them up. Because I saw BSG and I saw, oh, BRG, what are you doing? We're both getting tripped up by these darn team names, but yeah, Black Rose, they're not going to be tripped up. They're four. If they win this game, they're going to be going 4-0, and they're going to be tying first in the group with actually CBA when in the group in the whole like standings. So this is really, really good news for them. And looking at this game, they've looked dominant on multiple fronts. Their top lane went well for them. Their jungle, Vate, is insane in this nooning. Their bot lane dominated too. It's just overall, they've had a great play. But the big thing that shocked me the most is their macro play is fantastic. Their ability to siege turrets and know exactly where to be at the right time is so smart from them. And it's something I'm really impressed by.
Now with the Baron buff slowly coming up, we are going to see how that macro will help them secure the big objectives. Ocean Drake as well is going to be now spawning, looking to add the third one to their collection. And I think this game, if anything, it will allow us to judge how cleanly can they execute. So far, it is very clean. There was only that one fight in the top lane where Lego was allowed to get into the backline that you could be picking on for Black Rose. But otherwise, this game has been anything but even.
Yeah, well, the biggest thing has to be vision. I think that despite everything else, we talked about how pick comps they rely on vision a lot. And looking at the difference between just the support since it's a vision score, Heat's got a 43 vision score compared to Muppet's 20. You should not have a 20 vision score of support at 20 minutes. Muppet is he's not looking too good right now. You need to be getting some more wards down. And he isn't really doing that much, and that worries me. That worries me a lot.
I mean, when you are behind, it is hard to place down those wards, and, you know, 20, of course, not a lot. I do have to agree with you. I'm not going to try and defend Muppet in this, but, you know, you are this far behind. It is hard to place down wards, let's be honest.
It is a very, very difficult one to do, and now, though, there's a lot of grouping around the jungle. This is where vision is very important, being able to lay down little warding traps, trying to spot out what the enemy team is and set up either a bait or just doing the objective itself. So it looks like they're going to be pulling the trigger.
Yeah, the jungle level difference is only 1, so it is smiteable for Pioneers. However, actually no, you've got the consume combo, so you are most likely looking for a fight if you are Pogchimp right now. Up in the front line, that is a big knockout from Pioneers. Can he transfer it into the big engage? The Cosmic Flame is coming through, invulnerability onto 4 members. Lizard is trying to pop down the Glacial Storm and do some work. Varte stack in the backline, however, no one is dropping. Pogchimp cannot secure any kills yet with that engage. Jungle no gang stuck in the front line, and Pioneers Pineapple is popped down into the Cell division. McFreeze is now getting engaged upon by Lego, but Lego himself has to flash away after Lizard did find the stun. Now Muppet with the dazzle over the side, and Lego on the rampage with that accelerated showcase. Now Lizard Kigo's called, like his HP is very low. He's got the resurrection. He has the egg. Can he buy enough time with it? McFreeze over the wall. He's getting set up with a dazzle. That's a double kill for Lego. Make that a triple. And now Varte, he has to run the hell out of here. He doesn't have the flash. That's a rude dude picking up the kill. And Pogchimp finally win the fight.
It seems like every time we mention the favourites doing well, we seem to get it all turned on our heads and they suddenly win a great fight. And that's happened here as well. I mean, that's a great way by Pogchimp being able to win that fight. They extend it for super long, catch off their key members and shut out the players who are really important. And thanks to that, they're able to secure a Baron for their troubles. They're able to shorten their gold deficit to only 1.5k. And all of a sudden, I mean, Lego, look at that man. He is looking unstoppable right now.
Triple items. You also have got that last, wait, is it the last whisper? No, Mortal Reminder for the healing reduction. Most important thing, Pogchimp never lost the inhibitor. They did lose the inhibitor type very early on, but the inhib is still standing. So you don't have to worry about super minions coming into your base. And now with that Baron buff, I do hope they can utilize it to close that gold lead entirely.
Yeah, and now, I mean, if you're Black Rose, you gotta be sweating a little bit. That was not good. And here's the thing, if they should be able to properly disengage fights. We talked about the tools they have. They have a Poppy, they have a Nivea. They need to be able to sit back and defend an area. And when you're doing a Baron fight like that, you should have had stuff ready. You should have already walled people off, the Nivea Storm around, scaring people off. You should have had a Lux and Caitlyn throwing out abilities. You should have had a Poppy standing in the way. That wasn't the case. All 5 of them were starting the Baron. That should never happen. You need to have 1 or 2 members staying away, zoning people off, making sure that they're not going to try and force a fight without any sort of warning.
As we are going to see the post. So let's take a look at where we are standing item-wise. Yes, we talked about the Jace, but McFreeze, he was very far ahead. He is of course still 2.5 items, still a massive Caitlyn, but you already have 2 items on Leonardo. You are slowly getting matched, and this Sona scaling even in the team fights is insane. And Rude already completed the Archangel staff, and now he's looking for his second item, most likely the Lich Bane.
Yeah, and we talked about them lacking damage, and they found that first in Lego and the Jace. He's doing very well for himself, but Sona struggles with damage up until around this point in the game where she's got her support quest, and then she's able to farm up, get the passive gold from her supply, and then get the active gold from the supply. And Rude Dude gets very minted very quickly when this happens, and I kind of dismissed that off at the start because I thought, okay, he's behind, he won't get to that point. But now he's starting to get to that point, and this is the point where Sona doesn't start just being a heal bot, but is about to unload some damage. And that's the scary part of playing against Sona Tarek.
Definitely is. Now Pogchimp looking to siege down this tier 1 in the mid lane, and they should be able to get it. They of course still have that Baron buff to themselves, and picking those objectives, that is what we want to see. However, now, we mentioned the macro before the Baron. Now when you are actually losing the Baron, it is so much harder for BRG, Black Rose Gaming, I will have to remind myself every game now, to pull off that same level. And if they can, then kudos to them, but it is going to become harder.
Yeah, for Black Rose, the issue is they don't have a lot of proactivity in their composition. We talked about them being able to make those kind of plays, but where's their engage? It isn't really there with Mooney.
Talking about the engage, Varte is locked up. That's a good keeper's where it gets to adversary, but Lego is still go like Tiny is looking for the engage instead. He's stuck in the front line, and McFreeze will be able to pick up the return kill. Lego walks into the trap and is forced to disengage. That is the junglers being traded for both of the squads.
Oh, Heat, so you're going quite low there, my friend. You could get sniped.
Oh, and there it is, the hijacked final spark. Leonardo picking up that kill, and Cosmic Radiance will be coming through by Muppet. But it just means that Pogchimp, they can be a bit safer running away.
Yeah, and oh, this game is turning on its head so fast. The decisiveness from Pogchimp to be able to force these fights when they know they can. It's great play from them, and now they've secured an Infernal Dragon for themselves. They've got themselves that first round of the game, but there is still a lot more work to be done. As now, they might be looking for another engage in the jungle.
And the movement speed that Sona gives you, it just creates this death ball of a composition. As Lizard, he is very far into that jungle. He throws down that glacial prison. Is going to be able to sidestep on that slice, on that elastic slingshot, but Lego is legendary. That's the 10-3 Jace now.
And he looks so bad, but he died 1-on-1 at the start of the game. That was such bad news. It was like, oh, Jason's gonna get ahead. Look at him. He's such a monster now. Like, his gold lead in the top lane alone is 4k. 4k, that's absolutely bonkers. And he's gonna be hitting full build very soon. And so now, how are they gonna deal with Lego on this Jace? Because the issue is that they have a lot of range, and the competition for Black Rose is designed to poke people out, siege, and have a lot of control. When they lose that control, the purpose of the competition kind of falls apart, and it's so hard for them to play from a disadvantaged state. Sorry, like oh.
Yeah. I mean, I do look at the two carries though. Of course, they're not that McFreeze and Lizard. They're not really that fed, but they are still going to hit really hard in the late game and in those team fights as well, especially if the frontline will be able to stand. So Black Rose Gaming, they still have got the chance, but it all becomes about the execution. I feel like right now, if you can get the fights your way, then you will be winning them more often than not.
Yeah, I mean, it is Pogchimp who's been able to execute their fights how they want it. They've been the one making the engages. BRG, I think they need to establish some form of control and play around that. That's how their composition works. I think, say you get Baron Vision, hold that Baron Vision, make them come to you, and then kill them as they make a wonky engage. You're not a composition who's going to be able to just run at them. That's going to work. That's not going to happen. And you can't be just sat out of position without all of you together. You need to be as a unit, really, in order to make much happen.
And now Pogchimp, they are looking to knock down that top lane tier 1. However, Varte, he's trying to clear the wave, and to his own demise, there are 4 members of Pogchimp waiting right there for you. The Absolute Zero will be interrupted, and Rude Dude is the one to get the kill credit.
However, the inhibitor is going to be under attack, and they have no one to defend this other than Leonardo. So, in actuality, this is a better play for Black Rose, because now they get the mid inhib wave, which is going to give them so much control over the map, which is something they want.
Yeah, the buzzword for this game for Black Rose Gaming. And hey, we mentioned the macro. That was a pretty clever move. Send Varte top lane to try and defend. I'm not sure if dying was part of the plan, but it doesn't matter. They get the inhib anyways, and as long as they don't lose a major fight before Varte comes up, they should be able to get away scot-free with that inhibitor.
Yeah, but look at the gold. It's even now. That was a 5k deficit at, what, 8 minutes? And they've managed to bring that back. That is so impressive from Pogchimp to be able to withstand that amount of pressure. We'll see now what they do when they do have control. They have warded up the Baron buff. They're hopefully going to bait something here. That would be what you usually want to do. They have started up. They're going to be hoping to maybe force an engage at someone.
Jungle Gangs has got his teleport, and there are some more TP as he manages to dodge away from the attack, has to burn the flash as well. Leonardo takes a big chunk of damage. Lego going over the wall onto McFreeze, and all this CC is just coming through. McFreeze has to burn the flash as the last extension from Piney's Pineapple was very close. Teleport is being channeled, and Jungle Gangs is looking to join the fray. Good blocked by Muppet for the ace in the hole, and Lego, he's stunned up. Shot is shut down for Lizard. 1,000 gold, a double kill mid laner of Black Rose Gaming, doing absolute work in this fight as the hijack keepers Vaden and Leonardo will be able to interrupt the fight, but Black Rose Gaming regain control.
And it's so important that that fight goes the way of Black Rose, because now they secure the Baron, and their siege is going to be monstrous. All whilst that fight was initially happening,
Chinese is behind the pit, he's charging up the shot. Can he go over the pit? No! Jungler no ganks interrupts the engage, and that is the Baron secured by Varte, and he finds the binding. He throws down the ignite as well. Piney's is going to be trying to get the hell out of there. He's solo on HP. Oh, he actually does get this thing shot. The final spike though pops him down into those 4 blobs, which are going to be taken, you have to believe, and it is Varte who's gonna get the gold.
And it's unfortunate for Piney's and for the side of Pogchimp, but like I said, that Baron is going to be so important. They're going to be able to accelerate their siege so much. But now they're all looking bot. I mean, they won the Infernal Dragon, which is fairly important. But I would just recommend pushing top at this point. Pushing top or push bot. And try and force them. If they go for this Infernal Drake, make them lose an inhibitor for it. And I'd say that's pretty well. But they're going to be able to get it for free anyways. So.
Rudu, he's walking forward. He just eats 2/3 of his HP as damage, and now Muppet too far forward. McFreeze 626 Caitlyn. That's his triple items. You cannot disrespect.
Yeah, and now Black Rose with that control this time, I think it's not going to be as forgiving for the side of the Pogchimps, because that Baron buff with an Olivia wave clear, with Caitlyn being able to free hit on your towers, it does not sound very, very fun for Pogchimp, and they're going to have to force an engage 4v5.
Well, Piney's was charging up his slingshot, but the Crystal Eyes from Lizard interrupted. The bot lane inhib is going to be knocked down, mid lane is still down, so now we've got double lanes with the Supermanias, and what you said is going to be true. Black Rose Gaming are not going to be even close as forgiving this time, because they just want to finish this game. It was a clean snowball, but it has now stalled to 32 minutes.
Yeah, and we talked about this being a bit of a litmus test for how Black Rose are going to be able to cleanly close out these games, and the answer is they haven't really been too clean. Like, they look good when they're in control, but as soon as they make one misplay, they seem to really struggle to get their head back in the game. And this could affect them going forward if they are supposed to be a top-tier team in the league. They need to clean up a ton of issues.
Yeah, now they do have the Baron, and when you have the Baron, it's all okay. That cannon minion is going to be so obnoxious. Muppet tries to do something, but instead he just stand up in the phone line. The snowball is all coming through. Piney is looking for the engage, but the steadfast presence keeps him at bay. That's a 3-man final spark, doing a lot of damage in return. Leonardo throws it back as he hijacks the ultimate, and here is the engage. Leonardo tries to go into the back, and he gets the attack in onto Keith. McFreeze is the next target. He's going to get Leonardo though, and Lego cannot find his way in. It is a 1-for-1. The support for the mid laner, and I feel like Black Rose Gaming will be happy with it. As you said, the minions from the bot side are pouring into the base.
And BRG, that they're looking in control, they're looking very good. They should be able to get a top lane inhibitor off of this. And Pogchimp, they kind of need to make something happen. Needs to happen shortly. We'll see if they're able to.
They don't really have the ultimates in map, but he's just knocked away with the keeper's verdict. W2D1 is throwing down his areas of valor, but they don't do enough. Varty now has got this snowball Lego trying to jump into interrupt him. Lizard, he throws down the flash. W2D1 is taken down by McFreeze, who's now on a rampage. The knock into the wall by for Muppet, and here comes Piney's. That's a double though for McFreeze. It doesn't matter. It is an ace for Black Rose Gaming, and with only Leonardo alive, they will be looking to finish this game. The keeper's verdict knocks away one, and Black Rose Gaming are on to the Nexus Towers.
Oh, can Leonardo make the hero play? I don't think he's going to be able to. Yep, there he goes.
The ace picked up by Vartin with 20 seconds on the clock for W2D1. With the inhibitors being down, Black Rose Gaming are looking to put themselves undefeated at 4-0 at the end of week 2.
Yeah, very, very tough game for them to get through, but eventually they persevere and they're able to smash open the enemy Nexus. Well played to Black Rose Gaming. Obviously, commiserations to Pogchimp. They put up a great fight, and that needs to be talked about. They had a very good mid game, and testament to them. They did well. They hung on, but unfortunately, it was not enough. As soon as Black Rose regained their control, they looked unstoppable once again. Well played to them.
Yeah, very much. But Black Rose Gaming, they do end up getting the win. It wasn't as close as we thought it was initially when we saw the early game, but they still pull it through. And now 4-0 at the top of the standings. I'm actually curious if the other teams in the games that are being played today, if any of them manage. I think CBA is definitely a strong candidate, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm so excited for CBA versus Black Rose looking at this. I feel like both teams, they do have a few little weaknesses, but they are super strong when they're ahead. And so I want to see what happens when those two clash, like when fire meets fire, if you will. It's going to be a real fun one.
Yeah, it definitely will be. But yeah, I don't think the other results have been yet registered. So we don't know if Black Rose Gaming are the only ones at 4-0, but it doesn't change the fact that they are. And this is one of the teams that I am personally pretty excited looking forward, but we did see some problems, and you named it in the game. If they lose control, then yeah, it kind of does a lot of collateral damage at the same time to their overall team play.
Yeah, absolutely it does, but when they have control, they've looked really, really well. That early game snowball impressed me so much. Like, the fact they were able to get a 5k lead in 8 minutes is against people like a Sona Tarek, who are supposed to be really good at deflecting early pressure. That's super good to see. That's really, really good form. It's just they need to be consistent throughout the game. If they're able to do that, then they could shape up to be the best team. But I want to see improvements. Yeah,
we definitely do want to see those. However, I believe that there isn't too much else to talk about anyway. Production interrupt me if I did forget anything. But yeah, it was a really nice couple of games today that we had actually. The second one also getting pretty long, and now I'm getting the message. So yeah, anything else that you want to say, Byron?
Nothing much. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, well, thanks guys for tuning in, but this will be it for tonight. We will be back tomorrow though, so definitely come here. I'm just checking for you what games we will have. EOS Anonymous versus Vaptrox at 19 CEST, then Team Twice against Stopwatch later. They will both be casted by Viper and CJ, but from me and Byron, this is going to be it. We're going to wish you good night, and we will see you tomorrow.
Night.